Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to episode 286 of the 4,000 Question Challenge. What needs to happen to truly experience freedom? Well, it would help if you are not experiencing oppression by society and the government. It helps that you understand your own limitations and your own potential, and you understand where your place in the world is, your own privileges, and the oppressions that you may be experiencing. For example, I am straight, I am white, I am cis, I'm a guy. And the only tiny titsy bits of oppression I have ever suffered in my life is because I am a religious minority in America. I am a pagan. That has been almost non-existent. So I have a lot of privilege. For me to really understand the freedoms I enjoy, I have to understand the system that has put me into a position of having those freedoms and having never to question them and having never to wonder what it's like to be someone that isn't me until I started to wake up. So I guess knowledge. Where are you likely to find untold treasures? I find great treasures at flea markets and at yard sales, at thrift shops, and at antique shops. That's where I go. Estate sales as well. Excuse me. What areas of research do you feel should be broadened? Broadened. There are lots of areas of research I think that deserve more funding, like NASA and biotech research and stuff. But broadened? I'm going to go with gene engineering, genetic engineering. Broaden that up a hell of a lot. What is one thing in life that you care most deeply about? Well, you're talking about thing, not a person. I can say that the person I care about the most is my wife. But the thing I care most deeply about? Knowledge, I guess. Ignorance, the opposite of knowledge. But yeah, you get the picture. Are certain nationalities, races, oh, this is going to be great, religions, political parties, or countries better, smarter, more industrious, etc.? Is this woman like the thin end of a wedge for like some white nationalists or something? No. No. There are some political systems that are better. And you could say, for example, the United States, progressive politics are better than conservative politics. But it's hard to find progressive politicians in America. I would say if you're going to compare the Democrats to the Republicans, the Democrats are better than the Republicans because the Republicans are a terrorist organization. But the Democrats are conservatives, and there are progressive members of the Democratic Party, but they are often squashed by the establishment. So I can't give a blanket Democrats are always better than everything. They aren't. They're just better than the Republicans. But within their own ranks, they are the enemy because we don't need conservative politicians in America. I don't care what letter is in front of their name. We need progressive socialists in power. But no, there's no country that is better, smarter, or more industrious. Every country has limitations, and a lot of the countries in the world have been given those limitations by other countries who have reaped the benefits of oppressing them and exploiting them and harvesting their resources. This person doesn't seem to be an intersectional feminist and has almost no understanding of the geopolitical history of humanity. This is amazing to me. If you had to, could you kill someone in war? Yes. I fully believe that if I had to kill someone for self-defense or the defense of others, and that is to my mind the only justification for war, defensive act, defense of your own nation or the defense of an ally's nation, then yes, I believe I could. Is there any cause you would be willing to die for? Yes, I believe that we should all be willing to die for the civil liberties and human rights of others. What truth have you learned that you want to share? Seek knowledge. Seek as much knowledge as you can lay your hands on. And be prepared to admit that you're wrong and change when you have been shown that. What are your definitions of injustice and victimization? Well, injustice is rampant everywhere in America. Now, victimization is a very loaded term. Victimization is very loaded. I would rather have that put into the categories of what are the definitions of injustice and oppression? Because oppression puts the onus on the oppressor, not the victims of oppression. So rather than say victimization, I think we should be looking at through the lens of oppression. And there are so many varieties of that in America that you just have to kind of look at America, and there's your definition. And lastly for this video, who are your five top brains? So people I really think are smart. That's almost difficult for me to answer because just because someone is very intelligent doesn't mean that they should necessarily be lauded for what they have done, because sometimes because they are intelligent doesn't mean they are also not problematic. But you've got your Newtons and your Einsteins and your Hawkings and people like that, and you'll notice there's a lot of men in there, because off the top of my head I have a hard time thinking of women that have been publicly lionized and publicly championed as being really truly intelligent, because we live in a deep, really ugly patriarchal society. So I think of just men, and that's horrible. That's horrible that I don't know better, and it's horrible that that is what almost everyone that answers this question is going to do. So yeah, that's the last question for this video. So thank you for being here for episode 286 of the 4,000 question challenge. I hope you'll be here for episode 287.